What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of TLT Podcast. And today is the first episode of the 2023 year. How you guys doing?
Oh, doing
Yeah,
good,
Doing good,
doing
man.
great.
Doing good.
yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
I'm feeling
And
blue this year.
that's good. I
That's
like that you
terrible.
said
And
that
I'm
because
wearing boots right now.
see, I like that y'all said that because this
Oh my
episode is going to
god.
be about movies, right? And before we get started, I want to let you guys know. Did you know there's a new Hunger Games movie coming out this year? Now,
What?
No.
Oh,
yeah, it's a prequel to the other ones. Now, why am I saying this? Because Hunger Games came out how long ago? 2012? Like almost 10 years ago,
is that
right?
wait for real?
The first one did. Like
Yeah,
2012,
I think it's
2013.
true.
Dang, it's been a decade.
Close to, right?
Yeah,
And for some boots, the first one came out around 10 years ago. And so did
it's been
Avatar,
long.
came out 10 years ago. Now, my question is, why did Puss in Boots come out to be such a good movie compared to Avatar?
Okay.
And that's
Let's
the
let's
discussion today.
preface this. Let's
And that's the
preface
discussion today.
this. Avatar is not a bad movie. It's just that Puss in Boots is scoring a lot higher in reviews
Yes, but
Yeah.
Puss in Boots is a cartoon movie about a cat
with boots. Yeah.
in
I
boots.
mean,
Yes.
Fair.
In the world of Shrek, let me preface this. In the world of Shrek, there's a
That
spin-off
is
about a cat in boots.
I mean, you just described it as like a movie about a cat, but the thing is like it's not just a movie about a cat. It's like it's a pretty well written and like animated movie, man. Even
Did you
like
guys see the first one?
I
Yeah,
actually
I saw the
did
first
not.
one.
we won't
I
talk
did
about that
not.
one because that
Is
was
it
But
bad?
did you not like it? I thought it was a decent movie. I thought it was
okay.
okay.
Okay, decent, yes, but not good or that good.
Not comparable to the sequel.
Yeah. I think the
Is it
second
actually
one's
bad?
better though, for sure.
The second one has a better
1000%.
villain for sure.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. Before we get started into this discussion, Barrow, let's get everyone's ideas on or thoughts on each movie. So, what do you guys think about the Puss in Boots movie? For those who've seen it, I know Kenny has only seen
The
the ending.
ending.
It.
The ending was good.
I think it was pretty good, as I mentioned
I
earlier.
I really liked it. The animation was like, I mean, different than the first one, but I warmed up to it really fast. Villain, sickest man, the wolf. He's out here
Mhm.
being a cold dude, and I'm here for it. And
Dude,
the
the
dog, love him.
wolf is such a good villain, man. Especially like the vibe you get when he shows up in every scene when he whistles.
We need
But
whistle exactly.
there's
That's
the
the
one
thing.
thing one thing I want to mention though. We should give a shout out to Antonio Banderas, bro, because this guy always gives like 110% in every movie for Puss in Boots.
Oh yeah, he did a good
Like I'm
voice.
voicing a cat again. Got it.
Yeah. Bro, he gives like a nice accent and like a puts like a lot of effort into his voice.
Is
When
that not his normal like accent?
I mean, it is, but like I think the way the way he says stuff, like he emphasizes words and such.
Well, Puss in Boots is like a rip on Zorro already, right?
Yeah,
So he kind of already knew what he was like
like
basing it off of.
compared to like the Hidden Paris in Shrek, he's not as memorable. That could be just be his line, so that's a little different.
You mean in this movie?
I'm talking about
Like,
like in Puss in Boots comparable in this movie and compare him to him and Shrek, stuff like that.
well, in this movie, I loved him still, but like I definitely think the new characters were like what made
The
it
highlight,
so good. They were the highlight. Like Kitty Softpaws was good, Puss in Boots was good. We all like our cameos of Shrek and Donkey, but like, oh, spoiler, sorry, but like just the wolf, what's his Perito? I don't know how to pronounce it. Jack
yeah,
Horner, Big Jack Horner. He
Jack Horner,
funny
yeah.
dude. Goldilocks was fine. Three Bears were all right, but like the villain, dude, that's why you
Uh,
watch this movie.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So here's my thing about this movie. When I first got into it, started watching it, I just thought it was cool the animation, especially because it looked unique. Kind of reminds me of Spider-Verse. Like then you mentioned that before when we were talking before. It might kind of like Spider-Verse, but a little more 3D.
Similar
But
animation,
yeah,
isn't it?
similar. But Spider-Verse looks more has how do I say this? It's more cartoony, more comic book. And this is
Yeah,
just
it's
folded
definitely a
down as
comic.
more
Do
3D.
do you guys think that the movie would have done just as well if they kept the same animation from the last Puss in Boots, or do you think that what do you think brought it success? Was it more of the style and animation, or was it more of the story that kind of made it like so like have such a nice rating on like by
I think a
viewers?
story can make or break a movie more
Yeah.
than the animation or the style.
Mm.
Here's the thing, in my opinion, about the animation is that Spider-Verse kind of broke the mold in terms of like we don't have to try to get more hyper-realistic textures and stuff. And then the bad guys, which DreamWorks made, also kind of picked up on that. And then they're like, let's try it with something that we've been working on, Puss in Boots, and just like see how it goes. And it was really, really good. And again, it could have been good either way. But if you look at the action sequences, they do a lot of smart decisions. They use a lot of color that's like highly exaggerated to set moods. And they also will slow the frame rate down during action sequences. And you don't really notice it. Like you notice it subconsciously, but like unless you know what you're seeing, it makes the action sequences feel a lot more weighty. So like that
Yeah.
really helps.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
like the transitions between scenes with the like the choppy frame rate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
when he fights the giant and stuff.
it like it's a good accent to the actual fight scenes for sure.
Yeah.
Say, I know it's not a great comparison, but like and kind of off the rails a bit. Like when you watch certain animes, how sometimes that when they're not in a fight scene, the animation's really crisp and clean, and then as soon as they get into like an intense battle, like I'm not sure if Demon Slayer does this, maybe, but when they get into an intense battle, like everything starts kind of getting a bit choppy, but in a good way. Like it's kind of like a rough animation, but it works.
Yeah, because it feels like a lot more movement is happening.
Yeah, because a
Exactly.
lot of frames will be happening at one time, but like
Well,
maybe they'll edit it in a type of way
Mhm.
or animate it in a type of way. Sorry.
it
Yeah.
also depends like it depends how they want to make it. Like I think in the entertainment district for Demon Slayer, they changed that and they made it more smooth, if I'm
They
not
did.
mistaken. Yeah.
But you got stuff like, let's say you guys won't know, but let's like cynical Naruto, right? When he fights Pain, that
Yeah.
fight is not like Demon Slayer at all, not smooth like that. And so you
Right.
can see it's like choppy or whatever.
And to be fair, there was also like
Right.
30 episodes for like the Great Ninja War.
That's
So
fair, but like that we're not gonna talk about that.
That's too many. It's
Nice.
too many for me.
And then so we all got a thought on Puss in Boots. We all liked the movie. We all thought it was great. Great story. The story itself was I thought it was unique. Even the one scene when the wolf looks him into his eyes and and Puss looks back at him. I'm like, this guy's looking back at death and he's not afraid at all. And has the whole point of the movie, and that's really cool.
So sick. But it's also like the movie's kind of like teaching you like to have a healthy kind of fear of your, or at least to like recognize your own mortality, which is like way deeper than I thought Puss in Boots would go.
Yeah.
Deeper than you think than a kid show usually goes, or a kid movie, at least.
I could see like Pixar tackling stuff like that, like in Soul or something. But like
And I
usually Shrek is just kind of here for the gags and the
also,
love
Yeah.
It
and
almost made
stuff.
it better
I felt
than Souls in
I
that
feel
way.
like now that Kenny
Yeah.
mentioned how like the this movie and like the kids movie or kid show, sorry. There's also like in this movie the dialogue was also like it wasn't just catered for kids, if you know what I mean. Like there was also like it's a dialogue was like adults could also enjoy it too, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, it was a really tight script. Whoever they had writing the jokes was on point a lot of the time, and they used bleeping on the dog character Perito a lot, and it was really really funny.
Yeah.
I think that's where DreamWorks really strives. It's kind of like not like knocking down Pixar in any way, but when you watch a Pixar movie, you know that like majority of the time its jokes are tailored more to kids. Yes, there could be like a few like adult things in there, but I think the beauty of DreamWorks, like regardless from if we're looking at it from Shrek or Madagascar, or like now Puss in Boots, is that they kind of throw in, like, I feel like it's a 50-50 thing where both kids and adults can enjoy it equally, right? Kids more for like the like animation and the story, and I guess adults too, but I think like the humor of like those types of things lies in the kind of subtleties of like those adult jokes. And I think that's why people also loved Shrek so much, especially with the first movie too. Like to this day, I still watch like all three. Like, well, I said all three Shrek, but there's
Yeah,
like a
no, no,
third
all
one.
three, all three.
Yeah, we can voice our opinions of it after, but
Yeah,
but
that
like,
one doesn't
like,
exist.
I love how when you say that one, we all know which one we're talking about. But yeah, like to this day, even though that I watch it, I still kind of find and realize new jokes that I wouldn't have like a few years ago. I'm like, wow, it's pretty good. But I went on a tangent there and I forgot what our point was. So yeah.
You guys notice how DreamWorks is like really, really good at sequels? Just think about the big franchises. Shrek's 2 is really funny. Kung Fu Panda 2 got
Two, really good.
super dark. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is good.
I got dark as well.
It got
Man's
dark,
dad
yeah.
died. Dad died.
Yeah, they're really good at like expanding on their characters, and like they're not afraid to like actually give them character progression.
Yeah.
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 Like you do, they like to take like the base character from like a first movie and be like, what can we do to this character to switch him up or whatever, or take him in a path you haven't seen. Like in Prison Boots, making him deal with death is not something I would have thought of, right?
Mhm.
Just out of here. I wouldn't think any of these humans people actually look at their own mortality like that, except for maybe like Shrek with Donkey or whatever. But everyone else, I feel like they all just kind of live in a dream world where nothing can hurt them.
They live in the Trolls world, which is also a DreamWorks product.
Trolls. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Okay. Madagascar.
Dude, I
Madagascar 2,
love
Moto Moto.
dude, I absolutely
Mortal,
love
mortal.
Madagascar. Like it's so it's I love all three, but like yeah, it's so good.
Isn't there like four? Don't they go to like Paris or they go like they're
I
on
think
their run?
that's number
Third
three,
one,
I
isn't it?
think.
They go
Yeah,
Europe.
yeah,
They
yeah,
Isn't that the
go.
third?
yeah, that's the third one. The one
Yeah,
with
because
the
go after.
circus and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they also
That
have
one,
this off with the Penguin movies.
I actually like that one a lot. I know it's kind of an underrated movie, but I like that movie a lot.
I don't like
Yeah.
the third one as much with the weird what's her name? That one girl that's chasing after him.
Oh come on,
Oh, dude.
she's so funny how she's so intense about being like an animal control person.
You mean Madame Dubois?
Yeah, Dubois.
Dubois. Dude, the jokes in there, like talking about going back to the whole like adult oriented jokes, that one has like Madagascar has so many. It's actually funny, man.
Yeah,
Right.
Madagascar they do that. But we've got off tangent. Let's get back on point.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
that
yeah.
we've talked about Puss in Boots, let's see everyone's thoughts on Avatar. Who's most of
Who's
us seen
actually
this, right?
watched it? I've watched it.
I have not.
I've
Well, we
watched
watched
it.
it. Can you see it? I know most of what happens.
Okay, Kenny, why don't you tell us what your thoughts are?
Visually,
Wait.
it is.
Do you guys want to do like a brief summary on what happens in the movie?
Sure, I could summarize it, and then Kenny could give us his take. So, it picks up after the first one. So the humans have left. Jake Sully has started a family. There's still some humans on the planet that are like raising a human child and still kind of like helping out the Navi. And then the humans come back to the planet and they start building on it again, except this time they're not there to extract minerals. They're there because apparently Earth is like dying. So they're trying to
They also extract that
colonize it.
oil from the
Yeah,
whale.
yeah, yeah. So like there are these whales, right? And they kill them and they're like giant, super intelligent, majestic things, but they're there for like a tiny, tiny vial of like brain fluid that stops human aging. So basically the
What?
villain from the first movie comes back as an avatar, cause reasons. He's hunting down Jake. So Jake leaves the village, goes to the sea people. They take him in. They're learning about the culture. Then the humans show up trying to like mess up with the whales. It makes the sea people mad. And Jake has to fight for his family, and that's kind of the basic plot.
Wow.
Family.
Family, like Fast and the
Yeah.
Furious.
Yeah.
That's the
Dumb
first.
A
turtle.
All right.
really overpowered kid.
All right, Kenny. What's your thoughts on this movie then? On this movie?
The movie, visually, it is absolutely amazing. The underwater scenes, especially.
Yeah.
They basically like filmed this movie actually underwater. Like they made like new motion capture for under the water.
No way. Okay.
Yeah. So every time they're under the water, they're actually like under the water.
You think it was worth like the 11, 12-year wait?
Visually, yes. Story rise, no.
Oh.
Hmm.
I mean, the story
Really?
pretty much makes or breaks a movie, though, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's still a good movie. It is a little copy and paste
Dang.
A piece of what?
of the first one. Like
Yeah.
instead of him learning like the way of the tree people,
Oh, because in the way of the
Okay.
water people. I see.
So is it slightly modified or just straight like cookie cutter story?
it's slightly modified with the kids. The kids are new.
Yeah, his kids. They're really
Yeah,
important,
those
but
children.
Kenny's right. It's essentially humans are bad and they destroy the environment, so we got to stop them.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is a
one
good
kid that's
message.
really
This thing,
overpowered.
I was told that he learned that there were more than just three people. They're like mountain blue people, and there's water blue people, and so
There's
and
water
so.
people, and I think the next movie they said was going to be like fire people.
Yeah, they're literally
Get outta here.
James Cameron is like, hey, you know that Avatar that people always talk about, like the cartoon with the Last
Yeah.
Airbender? Let's just do that, except I'm gonna make a lot more money.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
what's the money?
as long as they have my man Iroh there, then
Iroh as a Navi. He's just there making tea in every scene.
Exact Iron.
They should,
like
they should do that as a joke in the next movie. Just an
That'd be
avatar
funny.
in the background. He doesn't say a word. He's just constantly making tea, or either that or sipping tea.
Or he's eating like cabbage, like there's
Yeah.
a cabbage salesman.
they have Zuko there,
He
one of the
just
main
yeah, he's
characters.
got a scar on the wrong side. Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting because people in the first one were saying how amazing the visuals were, and I was kind of like, how good can they possibly get? Like even after 10 years, it's how good can they possibly be? I was kind of surprised. The visuals are actually a lot better in the second movie, and it's like you feel like you're in the world as they're like exploring the water, and it's like you really feel like they're immersing you, which is I guess the whole point. It's not so much the plot, it's more like here's our world that we've created and now you get to experience it.
Well,
But
it's good that you mentioned this because I heard that the reason why one of the main reasons it was delayed is because like the program they used, it kept getting updates to make it better. So like, you know what? Let's just commit to making it like the visuals better.
Yeah. Every time there was a graphical update, they basically redid the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
here's the thing. I
Oh.
also heard that the movie's supposed to come out in like 2 years. How
Yeah.
how likely do you think that's gonna be?
The next
Likely
one?
because it's already filmed. They filmed these two
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
like side by side.
yeah, they
The,
want the
the,
characters to be the same age.
the
Yeah.
past 10 years was them doing both movies essentially.
I think 3 movies. I think they have most of 5 filmed already.
Yeah, they're
If
trying
you
to do
want,
five
if you
films.
want to do like essentially this movie was like a setup of there's more people in this world, there's more than just these blue people and more stories to be told.
Yeah.
Right.
How's the soundtrack?
Forget the
Uh,
soundtrack. What's up with these whales?
I don't really remember the soundtrack. The
These
whales
whales are
is
they basically explain them as like parts of your family. Like they come back every once in a year and you like reconnect with them.
And they can give human immortality. What's that about?
That's why they're so valuable to the humans. And that's what's
yeah.
like funding. That's what instead of like that mineral that's funding everything this time is that oil that funds everything.
Yeah, they
Oil.
kill like this giant massive creature. They extract like a
A
couple
cup.
milliliters of like brain oil and then they just like let the body sink to the bottom.
I think they let it rise, don't they? To like basically warn
On-
them.
well, that's only in that one scene. They say usually they just let the body
Yeah.
sink, but then the bad guy's like, "No, no, no. Leave it on the surface. I want them to know it was us."
Bruh. Yeah.
It's like use this as a
Yeah, like,
message.
these guys are garbage, bro.
Saying
Actually,
if we're comparing the villains, which I said in Puss in Boots, the villain was like the strongest part. It's not even close. Okay,
No.
like the performance is good, the script is serviceable, but it's not. You don't feel dread when the villain is on screen. You're just
Alright,
kind of
so
like he's another
let's,
guy.
let's have like a scale. So
wait,
the number
no,
10
like,
being like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or 0 being Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Which one would it be?
Bro. Okay, Andrew Garfield is not in there, but in terms of villain, I'd say he's like a 5. Not performance wise, just the depth of the character. He's literally just like he is the human villain from the first movie in an avatar
Learning to be an
body.
avatar. Learning to be an avatar.
did he not want to be an Avatar in the first movie?
Yeah, but
Like,
now
what
he's
he
like,
like?
I'm here.
But now
Yeah.
he's here. Okay, now he's for it.
Now he's here, and now he has a kid that he kind of gives a
Yes,
shit about. Not really.
he does have a kid.
Bruh.
They kind of just throw it in nowhere. They're like, "Oh yeah, he had this kid."
I have a
Yeah,
son.
Yeah. You're like, sure, why not?
There's
Yeah,
like
as-
there's,
He's like,
there's
I'm
two
stuck,
kids
but
that kind of just come out of random.
he's almost like, I'm stuck with this body. I might as well you take advantage of it.
That's literally exactly
Yeah.
it. He's like, I'm back.
Bruh.
I died, but I'm here again. So let's just mess stuff up as one of them now.
So what's the plan for like the next movie? Because here's a
It's literally like I said. It's literally like I said. They go to ash people to fire.
So they go
The
to the
go to
Fire
Fire
fire.
Nation.
Oh no, listen, because little spoil. What I was
free.
told is that, but at the end of the movie, something happened. Like someone got the guy's kid, right? And he's mad about this. Now he needs backup, and now he's going to fire people to like get backup
He's
for
trying
like a
to he's
war
trying to unite the entire world against these
to
humans.
fight Earth.
They
Yeah.
didn't drive the humans off. The final battle is literally just some humans on a boat, which is a step down from the first movie where it was like all the humans versus like hundreds of tribes of Navi.
This one it was like 5 avatar humans versus maybe 20 avatars.
Five
You're like,
hours.
how is this even like tense? And then it's like, oh, the bad guys have their kids. I'm like, okay, but like, if the kids were to die right now, it would be a wash of a battle. The Navi would literally sweep the humans if they didn't have hostages.
Especially with that one kid that came
Yeah.
again out from a dead body, and this one kid could control the world basically.
Yes,
Bro.
that's one thing we didn't say. One of the
Whoa,
kids
excuse me?
is basically has like the goddess inside of her, kind of. They don't really confirm
Bruh.
that, but she
You
can
know that
control
one that
the
died?
animals.
You know that
Wait,
the
so she
scientist
has
that
this.
died that said, "Oh, I'm with the spirit. I see her."
Yes, Sigourney Weaver's character.
Sigourney Weaver's character. She apparently was pregnant at the time. Her avatar somehow.
Wait, so if she can do all that, how did she let herself get captured?
She's the one kid that doesn't get captured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the others are. Well, she gets captured a few times, but like,
Still, even if she got captured a
I
few
don't know,
times,
man.
how did that happen?
Dude,
She gets captured, and then she goes, and then she like puts her hand in the water, and then like all the animals come and help her.
Bruh.
Yeah, she's really strong. The final battle is literally them fighting, and the children get caught like 3 times. Like
So-
literally, it's like
Yeah.
the bad guys find the kids again and
So
grab
Kenny,
them.
she's basically the deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
Except she control like every animal, not just ocean.
What are you talking about? She's Aquaman.
No, but I mean, you also see her like controlling like the grass when she's like
Okay.
laying down.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, she could
Bruh.
like she has like a connection to the planet itself.
Mother Nature. Nice.
Yeah.
Basically, she is.
Yeah, she's essentially the Messiah. She's like
Yeah, but
the
at one point,
goddess in.
everyone's
Okay.
drowning, and she
Okay,
calls like
hold on.
fish to make a path for everyone.
Let's slow down. This is time to get out ahead. Who's the Messiah?
Jake's daughter, who is
Adopted daughter.
adopted daughter, who's still like an avatar. She
Who'd you
has like the
adopt her from?
spirit of the goddess. So
You know
okay,
the scientist from the first movie, Sigourney Weaver's
Yeah.
character.
I do remember
Her
that.
avatar gave birth after she died.
To this
What
kid.
the hell,
It's
So
like
that's what
divine
I'm thinking.
conception.
That's
They
what I'm thinking
literally
too.
say it's a divine conception. It's a miracle.
bro?
She must
because
come from the
What
they
planet.
didn't know they didn't
is
know
She
it
this?
was
must come from the
pregnant.
planet herself. A gift from the planet herself.
Let's back up here, guys. I'm sorry. This movie telling me that God just decided this island's gonna have a baby.
Basically, yeah.
Okay,
This
here's what
planet
I
has a
think it
baby.
is. In the first movie, she dies while they're trying to transfer her consciousness from the human body to the avatar body. And then she's like, as she's dying because it doesn't work, she's like, I feel it now, Jake. Awa is with me.
Yeah,
And then
I
she
see a
dies.
wall.
Yeah, yeah. So then the avatar body supposedly at like that point gets pregnant with the goddess or whatever.
How does it give birth to while dead?
It just gives birth.
Because
They
the
It's
just
a
say
avatar
miracle,
body
Koichi.
the avatar body isn't like a it's not like a dead. It's just kind of
it's
like
in
a
stasis.
dormant body. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or because there's no like host inside it, or
yeah.
Yeah. But
what?
apparently it
How
can
they
still
do it?
grow a baby.
Yeah, it must be getting nutrients and stuff. You know, I don't like
Yeah,
movies though, so I wouldn't know.
yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah. That kid is extremely powerful. All they really need is that kid. They don't need to unite everyone else. They just need the
Strong
kid
as
to go
this,
forth.
strong as this
Honestly,
kid.
she okay, I guess she's like a kid still, but like if she's going the way we think she's going, she could literally just tell the planet to kill all the humans and they would win.
Oh,
She literally there's like this plant thing in the water. She like lights it up without touching it, and then she like moves her hand and it like crushes a guy's like aquatic like sub.
Crushes like 7, like or like 2 aquatic like crab like subs.
And then when the guys like escape it, the plant doesn't let up. It goes up, grabs him, and like consumes him. And she
bruh.
literally does this without touching it or saying anything. So
She
like,
does it without touching it and without remorse.
she's an unforgiving messiah.
I think she
Without
smiles when it
remorse.
happens.
Kenny's making out to be a villain.
Well,
That's
maybe.
and that's how the Fire Nation was wiped out.
All I'm saying is from the human point of view, she would be.
Honestly, yeah. I don't know. Like again, I feel like it's a movie that you want to go to the theater, get 3D D-box seats,
Yeah.
watch it one time with all your friends, and then good, we'll wait for the next one. Whereas Puss in Boots is like, that's a fun movie. Maybe like in a few months or so, if it gets on Netflix, I'll throw it on again and I'll enjoy it again.
Yeah. This one is I'll wait in 10 years to see if the graphics still hold up.
Yeah,
Bro, I think the first movie still holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
it does, but this one
But
is
again,
leaps and bounds.
you watch it to see if the graphics hold up.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't watch it for the plot.
You don't watch it for the story. You just watch it for the first 5 minutes. Like, oh, the graphics
or
are not bad. End the
or
movie.
maybe it's a setup. Maybe the next movie is where it actually gets real good.
I think it is ramping up to something. It seems like it's ramping up to an all-out human
I feel like
civilization
I
versus
feel like the
Navi
fifth one.
civilization
I
war.
feel like the fifth one is going to be that one. I feel like the other two are just going to be saying copy and cut or just different planets.
I mean,
Different things.
I don't think they have the luxury to wait for 5.
The fifth one's already confirmed.
It's like the next movie's word for word, bar for bar the same, except it's just like different atmosphere.
Yeah, it's gonna be the fire. It's gonna be he's got to learn the fire tribe way.
Oh.
This
gonna
movie
be
kind of
fire.
frustrated me just in concept because the amount of money they spent on it was so high that they had to break records to make money. And that is like great. Like in concept, it's like great. You have high aspirations, but it also makes me really upset because it's like showing just a level of confidence that I don't think you should have for a movie that hasn't had a sequel in a decade.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Now
True.
that they have the second movie come out, do you think I don't think it'll get the same traction as like the new movie that's gonna be coming out. I don't think it's gonna get the same traction. So it's gonna make less money.
You don't think the third's gonna break $2 billion?
I
The
mean,
second one was like hype because it's like, oh, Avatar was like the
yeah.
highest grossing in the world or whatever.
Yeah, and again, they spent so much money on this one. It must be good.
People
To
definitely
be
still
honest with you
watch
though,
it.
I don't think the younger generation like watched it. I think it's just mainly like maybe people who are 18 plus right now, back when the 2009 movie came out, they
Yeah.
watched the original movie, but like I don't think that many young people saw it, unless they're geeks or nerds. But
No,
Well,
some people did. Okay, a lot of people would remember before the movie
I mean,
came
again,
out. They posted
it made $2 billion. Some people must have went and saw it.
it's a
well, remember
spectacle. It's like people that went to see Avengers Endgame, even though they haven't kept up with the MCU. It's like that. It's like we just know
Yeah.
this is going to be one of the biggest movies of the decade, so we're going to watch
Exactly.
it.
even a lot of people went back to watch the movie, even though no, remember they re-released the first one in theaters again a couple
Yeah.
months before. A
They
couple months
re-released
before
it just
the
because
movie.
Endgame beat it.
Yeah, they're like, let's get back to #1 grossed movie. I'm like, dude,
I'm
you
done.
guys,
I feel like
Honestly,
I
that's
feel that was a
serious.
little skeevy. I'm like, you guys held it for so long. You guys should just been like, hey, good job.
dude, James Cameron is he did Titanic too, I think. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he did.
this guy's a great track record, but you can tell definitely his ego is getting the better of him. He's literally like Avatar would be just as successful as the MCU if it had more movies. I'm like, it's a completely different thing, dude. It's completely different. Don't talk out of
But
your
like,
butt, okay?
and if you believe that, why'd you wait? It took 12 years to make one movie?
Exactly.
Well,
Like
he just
who's
complains saying that
laughing?
he said it's only because of numbers. It's all the numbers
Yeah.
game. It's not about quality.
Why did Disney even let him say that? Disney owns both of these products. Don't they want them to be supporting each other?
I don't think you don't have complete control of what he says during all interviews.
They don't, but like if I was Disney, I'd probably pull him aside and be like, "Can you not mention the MCU, please?
I don't think he's
We're,
mentioned it since then. So
we're
he might
trying
have
to
gotten
promote like She-Hulk season
She-Hulk
7."
got canceled.
She-Hulk got canceled.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
they had
did so
enough of that.
poorly that they couldn't bring him back for another season.
Literally.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of Disney
They
Plus
said
shows
they
that are
said
going
they
to be
said
like
they'll
that.
still return just because they have the actress on contract. But
I liked her as She-Hulk. I just thought the writing needed a lot of work.
A
I thought the
lot of
writing
work.
and some of the
Yes.
graphics needed work.
Okay,
Bruh,
but
Alec.
the graphics, it was okay. This could kind of connect back to Avatar. Avatar took a decade and it looked phenomenal. The MCU has been pushing so much on the animators that they can't make it quality, even though like the movies in the last phase looked great by the end, or at least a lot of them did. But now they just have no time to make a good product. So I guess in terms of that, Avatar 2 was a good success because it didn't like try to push out a movie that looks mediocre.
Like I get that like you spent like over a decade like getting graphics on point, but is it worth not having a good story?
I do agree they should have spent maybe half that time on the story.
Yeah, but they don't okay, I would love it if it had a great story, but you don't need it. That's not the kind of movie you're watching. That's like going to a Transformers movie and being like, where's my plot? No, you're there to watch Optimus Prime like
Uh,
uppercut the
Honestly,
Decepticons.
Daniel, I beg to differ, man. I think that if you're going to go watch Avatar, you would go there for a good story. You will go there.
Why?
You're not there
Go
for a
there for a good.
mediocre one.
I was not expecting Avatar 2 to have a good story. I was expecting it to have good graphics.
Yeah, but like you don't want a mediocre story. Especially along with a good graphics or a good story would correlate.
I'm expecting
Not
an amazing world like the Pandora ride at what is it, Universal? But
No,
like,
Disney.
oh, is it Disney? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's
Yeah,
Disney.
you just said it was Disney.
Yeah, you're right. I did. But
I think
it's
Epcot.
like
I think I could be
Kong
wrong.
versus Godzilla, right? You wanted to watch a big monkey punch a big lizard. That's what you showed up for. If it had a deep emotional plot about like the value of
You didn't
nature and
connect the
life.
plot of King Kong versus Godzilla.
I'm
monkey.
just saying movies can have different goals. If you have a plot that is just basic but easy to follow, and then you put all your effort into everything else, you could still have a good movie. It just,
Okay,
not
we
maybe
didn't say
not
Avatar was
worth
a
a
bad movie.
decade.
We're saying a good story would complement the good graphics.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I still like Puss in
Monkey.
Boots better.
They just thought they had a good story. We'll
Yeah,
leave it
they're
at
like,
that.
look how woke our movie is.
Bro, honestly, for a kids
Decide
movie, they
men
didn't have
good,
to go
nature
like
bad, or
for
nature good.
for a kids movie, didn't have to go that hard with a villain like that, man. Pretty sick though.
That's the
I like
crazy
it.
part because look at this Avatar. What's Avatar rated? PG-13. Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Bro, it's
I don't
Avatar
even,
rated.
I think it might be PG.
Avatar's for all ages. We'll say that for kids, for adults. It's meant for like mature to be
Oh
watched.
yeah,
Like Puss in Boots.
PG-13.
Puss in Boots is quote unquote meant for kids, right? But Puss in Boots theme and the 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 main idea there of the whole movie is deeper than Avatar. Avatar just these bare bones. You know what it's about. This men are bad and then nature's good and help the blue people. Sure. This one had Puss in Boots reevaluating his life, thinking about how he's gonna move on from this. And the villain was sick, of course. But that's besides the point.
I had a better time in an hour and a half movie about a talking cat and a wolf than I did in a 3-hour movie about like the struggle of nature versus civilization. So
But you know what's worse? You
what?
know what's worse? A 3-hour movie like that? Have you ever tried
What?
watching any of the new Transformer movies? That
No.
stuff is
man.
I'm kind of
Man.
excited
garbage.
for the
There's a
what's
new
the new
one.
one?
Beast
The Age
Wars.
of something.
Yeah, we got
Is
Beast
there-
Wars covered. We got talking robotic gorilla.
Kalichi,
I
Man.
was gonna say
Kalichi and
that.
I
That's some
watched
deep
all the
connection stuff right there.
Kalichi and I
Is he
watched all the
using
Transformers
Hamlet's
movies.
speech in the middle of battle?
Okay,
Yeah.
you did. Okay, Kalichi and I watched all the Transformers movies from beginning to the end, and like the very
Stop
last
before.
movie, we didn't touch it. And the second last movie, I believe we couldn't finish the movie. It was too long. It was like
But
it was so bad.
Dano, we got 2 hours and 10 minutes in. We checked how much longer is left, and it was like another hour and a half. And we were
Bro, is
like,
this the one
yeah,
with the
enough of this.
dinosaurs?
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
dinosaurs. And
The
we were
first
like, all right, stop
like
this.
the first movie is like an hour like 40. The second one's like 2
It
hours
gets longer and
something.
longer.
The third one's like 2 hours like 50. The fourth one's like, bro, it goes
Yeah,
up in time.
but it's so stupid. So I only watched the first three. The first three to me are memorable and enjoyable.
Third one's kind of, but it's still
Third
watchable.
one's in, but like I like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I never really got
Let's
into
jump to
it.
the next ones. I'm
It-
sorry, the fifth
it-
one they show a picture of him and say he's
Yeah,
part of
I
this
know,
great.
right?
He's part of this great bloodline. They say
Yeah, I didn't give a damn about that. I wanted
dating
him
back all the way
himself.
back to like King Arthur or something.
Yeah,
Wait, what? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
I'm
But,
not
but
gonna
yeah,
watch this
don't worry
movie
about that. Don't worry about that. What's it called?
then. King
Transformers
Arthur.
is
Okay,
something
fine.
else.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Michael Bay actually plays a character in the fourth one, the fifth one.
Of course he does.
Mhm.
He's like, hey,
He
can I
plays
be
a
the
tank.
character? Can I be the character that interacts with Megan Fox? It's like she's not in this one. Never mind.
Like,
No,
can I be the character that just blows up for no reason?
He's literally a tank, and the only thing he does is he immediately blows something up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was making a joke, but it turns out it was true.
He's like, how many explosions do we have?
Only?
12,000? No, we need 12,001.
Literally, they're walking out of a plane, and he shoots, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, my bad," and that's the
I,
scene.
I want so many explosions that they can't even tell what's happening in the scene. All they see is
We don't have the funds for that. What if
all
we
they
had a giant
all they see
talking
is like
gorilla?
all they see is them having the dialogue. They start to fight. They can't see things of all the explosions, and at the end, you just see who wins the fight, and that's all that I want them to see.
That way, I don't have to write an easy to read fight scene, an easy to follow fight scene.
Yeah, just
So then
big CGI robots.
the
That's it.
characters go into the fight, explode, walk out with one eye. Look, when did he lose that?
No, just a completely different robot walks out, and you're like, "Where did you come from?"
It turns like combined with all the robots
Yeah.
that went down.
You're
Yeah.
like you would have you'd have to read the comics that are actually a part of the script of the deleted scenes to get that part, but it's fine.
Comics are part of the script. That
It
is
shows you the comic. It's just
wild.
him like taped a bunch of scenes together. It's not even like looks like it's original or anything.
The comic has more
You read the
explosions.
comic, all it says is "kapow."
Oh.
Boom.
Boom.
They're like, Michael Bay, you've done it again.
Hate those
The
explosions.
worthy director.
Dude.
We got
Alright,
off topic. Let's get some final guide before we head off.
so Alec, what do you think was better, Puss in Boots or Avatar?
Bro.
Well, oh man, this goes back to the whole Marvel episode in season one, right? Like, no, honestly, okay. I'm gonna say Puss in Boots, not because of like I'm looking at this on my own personal like interest. I never like personally. I'm not saying Avatar is bad in any way, but I never got into it as much as other people did. Like I know the world is immersive, and despite its like world astounding graphics, it just never rang with me. So I think I gotta say Puss in Boots for the sake of I've been a fan of the whole like if you want to call it a quote unquote Shrek series. I guess yeah, it is a spin off of it. And although I was a bit skeptical with the animation to begin with, because I frankly liked the first animated style of Puss in Boots, and I guess it kind of like in similarity with the later Shreks. But after seeing it and like getting a gist of the story, I'm like, yeah, I could dig it. I could dig it. So I have to say Puss in Boots.
Right.
What about
And
you
then
then, Cindric?
I'm thinking Puss in Boots without a doubt.
Nice.
Yeah,
How about you
I
guys?
don't know.
What's the general consensus here?
I think we're all gonna say Puss in
I, I say Puss in Boots, but I don't want to let's say a little one thing about Avatar is that I know the movie promotes nature and the Navi are the good people, but Jake Sully's a traitor. Am I right?
Yeah.
Can we all agree to this? Like he betrayed his own people, the humans, for a race of another blue people.
They
All
were
right.
doing bad stuff,
In
man.
the first movie, in all intents and purposes, he betrayed his own race. Right. So the villain who says you killed good men and women, he's not wrong. Sully did kill good men and women. So what's the problem that the villain is doing? The main guy, nothing.
Genocide.
He's a traitor. Oh, okay, okay.
Genocide of a race that is not his own. I think that's a pretty bad one.
Okay.
Clutchy, are you excusing genocide?
Okay, I didn't know all that. All right, but hear me out now, Yoshi.
I mean, yeah, I guess genocide's pretty bad, but it's not that bad, is it?
You know what's not bad? Puss in Boots.
If it leads to immortality, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I Puss in Boots definitely is the movie I liked more. But again, I will still defend Avatar 2. It has its place. I can watch both and enjoy them.
Hear me
Agreed.
out though. I'm not saying Avatar's bad. I'm just saying it's for waiting 10 years. It's kind of
If it was a documentary, it would be a lot better. It's
It didn't
about the
need to be
world
3
of.
hours.
I feel like a documentary would mean that they'd have to be real.
I mean, a quote unquote
hey, they're not
documentary.
real.
A mockumentary.
Kenny, I
Yeah.
thought they were. I thought Navi was a real planet. Isn't it a moon?
Andorra?
Pandora.
Yeah, it's a moon off of a bigger planet, I think. Like Endor from Star Wars.
Like the little hairy bear boys on the planet.
The Ewoks, another
Agreed.
race that was being laid under siege from the invaders.
That's the thing. They all got to come together. Ewoks got to be the front lines. Am I right, boy?
The fourth movie.
That's
It
right.
goes and then
I think
and gets
James
Chewbacca
Cameron
to help him.
actually stole the idea from Star Wars.
Absolutely
Definitely.
disgusting. Right? Isn't it? It's just despicable at this point.
Yeah,
Disney should
Nice.
sue Disney.
to itself, yeah.
That way, it makes its money and gives it away at the same time.
The different departments are suing each other, so it's like a Disney civil war.
You get the both things.
Oh,
You get to give the money and you get a tax write off.
there we go. We're solving Disney's problems.
Problems how to make more money.
Exactly. We're actually just helping them at this point.
Like, what else can we buy? Can we buy the human race? Yeah, let's do
Because that's
that.
what they don't have is more money.
Feels
I
bad,
don't know.
man.
I feel like Disney has more than enough money.
I don't think they do. I think it's
It's like Disney wanted the X-Men. Fox said no, we won't give it to you. So Disney bought Fox. Like, wait, what do you want? How much more money can you get from that?
Disney was like, you
They
can't
need to buy
stand up
Warner
to me.
Brothers. They don't have a complete monopoly yet.
Warner Brothers is like the last survivor.
Because
And
legally they're
is
not
it
allowed
really
to.
surviving, Daniel?
No,
What
it's
do you
talking
mean
about?
they put out multiverses? That was a fun one.
That,
Space
that
Jam
game
2?
flopped. That game flopped.
You mean the game that was popular for
Flash?
all of like 2 weeks, Daniel?
No. It still gets updates. They added Gizmo from Gremlins.
Daniel, do what still gets updates?
Gizmo.
Uh, Disney Plus.
No, never mind.
Got 'em.
I was gonna say something, but I don't think I should say it.
Okay.
Cedric, watch your mouth. What's wrong with you?
No, I cut you. I was on Disney League of Legends. I was
Oh,
gonna say. I
no,
was gonna say.
do that then.
I was gonna say they still get updates, but the game's not good.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, that's completely fine. We can diss that all we want. So, anyways,
Puss in Boots, Avatar, both are great movies. One has more power than the other, but both worth the 10-year wait. Can we all agree to that?
yes.
Agreed.
Well, to varying degrees.
Very degree. Well, Avatar is going to get more movies, so like, they sparked off
I
a
think Puss in Boots is going to get
series.
more movies too.
Puss in Boots actually is in a battle with Avatar now. It's like you're gonna make 5 movies. I'm gonna make 5 movies.
They have to release consecutively now every
Nah,
time.
you know what it is. The third movie for Avatar and Puss in Boots is gonna be combined, so they're gonna be fighting off each other. The blue
That would be
people
sick.
versus Puss in Boots and Shrek and Donkey.
He's like fighting
Wait,
Jake
wait,
Sully. He's like
wait. Why is
flying
Shrek
up.
and Donkey fighting them?
And the Puss in
He's
Boots, they're
back,
going
man.
far away, man.
He
What do you
needs
mean?
backup.
I understand why he's fighting him.
They
It's
need
a
backup.
it's the Civil War. What do you mean? Why?
Donkey needs to use his burrow blast to help Puss out.
Get out of here.
And on the way, like right after, there's like a scene midway in the movie where they actually get Poe as well. You know,
Yeah.
I probably use his black hole move. It takes him away.
Yeah, and Baymax dies in mid fight. Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of which, Killer Panda 4 is going to come out soon. Is it this year?
No, but
Right?
it is coming out.
It's coming out. The villain, whatever Dreamer cooks up, it'll be another good one. Hopefully, if it's going to be like Death or Sense
Better
Death,
be
it's
good.
going to be a good one.
How do you
Yeah.
top that? It would be more scary than death itself.
Well,
They don't need to make it scarier. They just need to learn from what made Death sick. You know.
Life. That's what's scary.
Yeah, life is scary.
Noise.
thank you guys for another episode of TLT Podcast. Go check out the last episode where we discussed. What did we discuss last episode?
Home Alone.
Home Alone from 1 to 5. I bet you guys didn't know there were 5. Now go check out the episode.
Now you know.
Check out the episode. You will see 1 to 5. We'll break it down, the good, the bad. It's a good time, a good episode. He would have liked
Yeah.
to. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.